All right, welcome back to another episode of the Critics Collective. I am Legacy Lingo, and today I will be discussing with you guys Amber Alert. This is a film that is available on Hulu with a subscription, or you can rent it on Amazon Prime. All right, but before we do get into that, I want to go ahead and ask you guys, if you've been rocking with us and you like what we've been doing, please hit that subscribe button, hit that alert button, hit that thumbs up button. Every little interaction helps the page grow, and we want to keep growing and give you the content that we love to give you guys. All right, so getting into Amber Alert, the synopsis goes: a rideshare turns into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse after it follows a car fitting the description of an Amber Alert. Let's go ahead and just get right into it with the initial impressions. Okay, so initial impressions with this one, I saw Hayden Panettiere and Tyler James Williams, and both of those actors I actually do appreciate. I like the body of work that they have, and of course, I do not watch trailers, so I just jumped right in there. And now I'm here to give you my review, so you can decide if you want to jump right in there and watch it as well. All right, so highs and lows. Here we go. The concept. I love the concept. I love the potential that the concept could bring. As I was watching it, I had it basically once I got that concept, there were so many opportunities in my head of how this could go down. So it excited me. It excited me. The way this film looked, the cinematography, the choice of the color scheme, it was dark and it truly set the vibe, truly set the tone. It gets you in there very early. That gets you in that vibe to understanding what kind of film you're going to watch very early. They didn't really waste any time with that. And I appreciated that. The situation that we get into, it pretty much jumps off within the first 5 minutes. And now you know the rest of the film is about resolving the situation, which is good. It didn't waste too much time with that. Another high for me is the insight that you get as far as the distress and the almost impossible situation that the 911 dispatchers and the police officers are in this situation when, especially if they don't have a license plate. This film actually touched in on that and really revealed how we can sit on the outside being like, they're just sitting around doing nothing, but they actually gave us the insight to show how overwhelming it could be, how this situation can easily go left, how misinformation comes in left and right. It was pretty eye-opening. It was pretty eye-opening. But with that being said, I have to now get into my lows, and that same situation that was extremely overwhelming for the police and how they had to figure out how to navigate through it. One of the things that I couldn't get past was the writing and the freedoms that they were giving certain characters. There was a woman who was very stressed and involved in the situation, and she was given so much access. She was able to just cross lines and just kick in doors and just do stuff and say things. And I was like, I just don't see it happening this way. I understand the emotional reaction. I understand that need to feel like more needs to be done, but I would have liked it to have been written a little bit more realistic. Maybe had that person be a bit of a problem on the outside, trying to get other people involved instead of being the problem that she was where she was. I felt like there was a little bit too much access there that kept just throwing me out. I was like, how did that person even get this information? Why are they having this discussion in front of this person? Isn't this police business? Like, why are they even allowing her to just walk in certain people's office like this? Is there not waiting room for this person? But again, I mean, that's small potatoes, but I'll keep going. Another issue I had with the writing is the poor logic combined with the stupid luck of the two lead actors that we had. A lot of those situations they were in, there's no way that the story should have progressed. And then if it did progress, there's no way that they should have actually survived that situation or not make it worse. And as the story played out, as they got into these situations, there was a lot of moments I was finding myself throwing up my hands, looking around, asking, is anybody seeing this? Like, seriously, how is it that they're able to continue? How is it that they're still alive in this situation? And then it gets even worse with the villain. The villain himself is actually so mundane, so underwhelming, so sloppy, and so exposed. And they play him up to be this person that's been doing this for years, for some time. So he should be an expert by now. And then they give us all this buildup about this person, this villain. And he was very soft. He was not as dangerous as they made it seem. Of course, yes, he is preying on children. Okay, but still, when they built it up and to play towards them having this big clash at the end with him, and they made it seem so creepy and so dangerous, so ominous. They built it up, and none of that was given. It was very underwhelming. It's very disappointing. The killer, or I'm sorry, not the killer, but the kidnapper, the villain, should have been a lot more vicious. It was really the biggest letdown of the story after all of the buildup that we had. And then lastly, for me, low, is the technology that was used to play a major factor in this story, and its resolution was too much of a stretch. It was a ridiculous reach. And I found myself again looking around, asking nobody, is anybody seeing this? Even though I know that there was nobody going to answer me, but it was just like, come on, this is not working. This is not working. And it kept taking me out. There's no way I could just truly sit and enjoy this movie. There were so many moments that had me wondering, why was the villain so successful for so long? How did the police allow the woman I was speaking of earlier and our leads to cross so many lines? And how did they allow them to even to continue pushing forward with some of the agendas that they had? I felt like that was very reckless. If there was no way to write this story, or if it was based on true events, I would leave it alone. But there was other ways that you could have gotten around this or made this happen. It just required a little bit more creativity. And ultimately, how did the movie itself just get made? As what the question I was wondering as the credits roll. Yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our ratings. So the critics collective ratings, we got 0 to 5 system with accolades. 5 accolades being excellent, a must watch, highly recommended for all viewers. 4 accolades, good, worth watching, but has notable flaws. 3 accolades, average, some enjoyable moments, but lacks significant impact. 2 accolades, below average, some redeeming qualities, but generally disappointing. 1 accolade, poor quality, not recommended. Or 0 accolades, horrible, absolute trash. And that's where I'm going to leave it, because it's a new year and I promised I would move on from my grudges and my gripes. So with this film, the concept was cool and it had opportunity to be fully executed. It was a lot taking me out. It is not absolute trash like it may, like my review may have sounded like that's where I was headed. Somebody else watching this may not be bothered by anything I said at all, so I do recommend go ahead and give it a shot, because my rating for this is a 2. I give it 2 accolades. It's below average. It has some redeeming qualities, but it was generally disappointing. But you may pull something else from it. It may be highly entertaining. The things that bother me may not bother you. So I definitely recommend give it a watch, and then come back to our page. Make sure you get in those comments. Let us know what you would give it so we can have a discussion about it. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, hit the alerts, and then go ahead and help push this page forward. All right. So again, this is available. This is Amber Alert, and it is starring Hayden Panettiere and Tyler James Williams. You can find it on Hulu with a subscription, or you can rent it on Amazon Prime. I want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Critics Collective. I'm Legacy Lingo, and we will see you guys on the next one.